name is Teresa Shoemaker, and I'm going to talk about combating evil. This is found in Johnson chapter 4. This chapter talks about what evil is, the different types of evil, how people can turn away from evil, forgiveness of evildoers, how evil can be avoided by using spirituality in our leadership roles. One example of evil that I'm going to show you is the Boston Marathon attack, which occurred on April 15, 2013. My parents and two of my sisters were in Boston as one of my sisters qualified for the marathon. Luckily, they were about 2 blocks away when the bombs went off and no one was injured. However, the bombs did cause many serious injuries and a few deaths among many people. I have the actual video of the bombs going off and warn you that this is a sensitive video. As you can see by that video, 2 bombs went off and it was very upsetting for many people. Not a lot of people knew what was going on and people were kind of scrambling all around, very terrified. And evil was clearly present as many people were hurt, and the tragic events of that day still affect people. Evil is the most dangerous element towards casting an unhealthy shadow. Evil comes in many different forms, with some being more extreme than others. Evil as dreadful pleasure was proposed by Professor Alford. Evil as deep sense of easiness. People do evil instead of coming to grips with their own darkness. And evil as a product of boredom. Evil is also exclusion, harming others that are not considered part of your inner circle. Oftentimes people show this by making sexist comments, judging different groups, and making themselves appear superior to a certain group. Box 4.1 on page 121 shows different symptoms of moral exclusion. Evil as deception. Proposed by psychiatrist Scott Peck, he calls them the people of the lie because they deceive themselves and others to produce a better image of themselves. They attack anyone who attacks their self-concepts and are consumed with keeping up their appearance. Evil as bureaucracy. Administrative evil where organizational members commit heinous crimes while carrying out their daily tasks as good, responsible professionals. True nature of administrative evil can be hidden from participants as they inflict pain and suffering while fulfilling their job responsibilities, often believing it is for a worthy cause. Evil as choice. People become good or bad based on series of decisions and are always moving towards one pole or another. One scholar connected making a decision towards making a journey. People come to a fork in the road and must decide which path to take. However, if we take the wrong path, then people have to go back in that fork in the road instead of continuing on that same path. Evil as ordinary. Situational factors that cause otherwise ordinary or normal people to become evildoers. Perpetrators look and act like the rest of us. Now we take these different types of evil and make ways how to face them. Evil as dreadful pleasure. We examine our own motives by asking ourselves the question, am I projecting my insecurities onto others? Am I punishing a subordinate because of his or her poor performance or for the fact that exercising coercive power makes me feel strong? I might tempted to harm others to fill the emptiness I feel inside. Evil as exclusion. The idea of pluralism helps leaders deter moral exclusion and acknowledge legitimacy of a variety of groups. And this idea should be used as well as recognizing the symptoms of moral exclusion, again from box 4.1 on page 121. Evil as deception. People should identify bad tendencies and submit a positive force such as authority. Do not attack evildoers, but learn to react with goodness. Evil as bureaucracy. People need to be more aware of how activities contribute to good or evil. No longer can use the excuse of just following orders. Evil as choice. People should take more consideration in their own choices they make every day instead of falling under peer pressure. Evil as ordinary involves the 10-step program that was developed by Philip Zimbardo. It provides phrases for people to say in order to admit that they were wrong and want to resist situational forces that promote evil doing. One example of this is saying, I made a mistake. This admits your mistake. You vow to learn from your errors and move on. You do not stay on that course if you are engaged in an immoral activity. Forgiveness. This is the willingness to abandon one's right to resentment, negative judgment, and indifferent behavior toward one who unjustly injured us, while fostering the undeserved qualities of compassion, generosity, and even love toward him or her. From Johnson. But however, forgiveness is not excusing or condoning bad or damaging behavior, offering a legal pardon, forgetting past wrongs to move on, ignoring the offender, dropping anger, and becoming emotionally neutral. Forgiveness involves the 4-stage process, which is how people forgive another person. The first stage is uncovering. This is denying that there is even a problem at first, but then realizing that feelings of hurt, anger, shame, and betrayal do exist. The next stage is decision. This is when the person no longer wants to dwell on the injury and commits to forgiving. The third stage is work. When forgiveness is actually given to the offender, pain is absorbed, and the cycle of evil is broken. The last stage is deepening. This is the outcome of the forgiveness and includes forgiver finding his or her need for forgiveness. The last thing the book talked about was spirituality affecting leadership. Spirituality is the state or quality of practicing spiritual values. Some spiritual values are seen on the screen, such as commitment to mission, core values, and ethical standards, or loyalty. Leadership abilities include items such as listening responsively and treating others fairly. When comparing the two ideas, you can see that there are many similarities between spirituality and leadership. People transfer these spirituality characteristics into their leadership abilities, and this makes their leadership more ethical and effective. And that was chapter 4 from Johnson.